We have had 3 episodes of Eagles Film Roulette so far, bringing us 3 very different pieces of content, from the dominant, powerful monster that is Fletcher Cox to the underrated Rick Lovato. That's right, we had a full film breakdown on a long slapper. We now turn our attention to the roulette wheel once again. What will the story be this week? Are we going to find ourselves a diamond in the rough? Only time will tell, but before we spin the wheel, guys, make sure you leave a like and hit subscribe if you are new around here and enjoy this sort of content, and don't forget to drop your opinion on today's video down in the comments below. And if you're a big time Philadelphia sports fan, there is no better place to grab your daily dosage of Philly sports content than phillysportsnetwork.com. Alright guys, it is time to spin that wheel. All 90 members of the Eagles roster are on this list. Who are we gonna get in today's episode? Oh, that is saucy. Charles Johnson, the Alliance of American Football receiver, and a veteran I'm actually really high on. So before we get into the film breakdown, what we're gonna do is turn back time to the Alliance of American Football video I dropped earlier this year at the time of this signing, just to give you some background on the veteran that is Charles Johnson. Perhaps the player with the most intrigue surrounding their name, though, is 30-year-old veteran Charles Johnson, and this is a huge win for the Philadelphia Eagles. Johnson was arguably the Alliance's most explosive receiver during its short reign. Playing for the Orlando Apollos, Johnson led the league with 45 receptions and 687 receiving yards. His 5 touchdown catches also ranked him second in the league. Not only that, but Johnson's name's probably ringing a few bells right now, and that's because he's got a credible NFL resume. Before losing a training camp battle with the New York Jets in 2018 and landing in the AAF, the former 7th round selection of Green Bay was most prominently known for his 2014 breakout in Minnesota, where he snagged 2 touchdown passes and 475 receiving yards. He stayed with the Vikings for 3 years, but the injury bug started to bite, and bite hard. He was with the Jets, as I mentioned, in 2018, but was cut before the start of the season. In 2016, he was named the starting wideout for Minnesota alongside the one and only Stephon Diggs, but he started out slow, catching just 3 passes for 20 yards over his first few games. A 70-yard burst against the Jets 1 week later was promising, but not enough to build a consistently reliable case, especially when you consider the emergence of Adam Thielen alongside him. After bouncing to several other teams, Johnson took a shot at the Alliance of American Football, where, as we now know, he stole the show. He's 6'2", 216 pounds, but is undoubtedly playing at a level high enough to compete at the NFL level. Now we've got some background information, let's look at what stands out on film, and the first thing that jumps off the page is his ability to track the football. This play here may be one of the best examples I can find. Not only does he wave the ball in his direction, but it's the bodily adjustment once the ball is in the air. That is a difficult catch to make for any wide receiver at any level. The head is constantly looking for the ball, then he adjusts his body and snags it with a huge catch radius out of harm's way away from the sideline. It's the awareness to know that he's in space, and talking of awareness, Johnson just seems to have this veteran savvy about him. He knows how to manipulate a route and manipulate a defense. Now take a look at this touchdown here. What we're going to see is a simple stick and nod route from Johnson. It's almost a flood concept. What we're going to see here is a stick and nod by Johnson, a corner route over the middle, and then a simple check down on the outside on a flat route. Now the beauty of this is the minute that Johnson stops and that corner comes down, the safety's looking at it thinking, right, I've got to devote my attention to the corner route that's coming my way that now has some separation. So the safety then opens his hips and moves back, and the second Johnson clocks this, he's got the corner coming his way, the safety move in the opposite direction, he bursts into the end zone. There's a lot of acceleration and power there, and power is the key word down in the red zone. The guy's 6'2" and is often mismatched against smaller corners, at least he was in the Alliance of American Football, and this play symbolizes that better than many. Just take a look at how well he sells the inside route here. The corner has to broach for that, and at this point he just deadens it. He comes to a sudden stop, the corner has to brace for impact, has to throw his weight forward, and Johnson just brushes it off like it's nothing, uses that big body to snag the ball away, and look how high the corner's got to jump just to get at an even level with him. I really feel as though Johnson could be a hidden weapon at slot receiver. We know the Eagles were looking at big bodied slot wideouts during the draft process, and with Nelson Aguilar's future looking murky, it makes sense to at least give Johnson a run. And with routes like this, you couldn't really blame them for doing so. All we're going to see here is a concept we see run a lot in Philadelphia. It's just a nice comeback for the outside receiver, but it's the levels to his route running. It's such a crisp route runner. Look at this. There's a double move here, almost a quadruple move, if you will. He sells a double move once, then again, and it really is poetry in motion. So he gets off the line of scrimmage nice and quickly, throws his weight forward, then comes to a halt, and the minute he's done that, the corner has to open his hips, thinks he hasn't bitten on the move, and that's it. That's the end of the route. It isn't, because the second he opens his hips, Johnson does the exact same again, this time coming to a complete halt, changing direction, and just watch the catch radius on this throw. We spoke about it when tracking the ball, but he's got those long arms to go up and snag that ball out of harm's way, the big body to protect it. There is a good chance he's used as a slot wideout in Philadelphia. You can see another example of that hesitation here. I know we said 5 plays, rules are made to be broken. Just look at this. It's such a bad view, and I apologise for that, but he throws his weight forward. The corner has to close outside, and Johnson just cuts across his face on a post and gains so much separation as a result, all because he sold the outside so well and just cut away. And here's a play where the Eagles could really use him. He's lined up in a tight formation here, and it's just a sneaky move at the line of scrimmage. A nice slant. There is nothing complicated about this, but the room for yards after the catch is massive. It all starts at the line of scrimmage. We spoke about separation. Look at this subtle move, just sweeps his momentum all one way. This is what can happen if you don't press receivers at the line of scrimmage. The second they can manipulate you or fool you one way is where guys like Charles Johnson make their living, and I honestly believe in training camp, with such a vicious cornerback competition and tensions high, there is a chance he can make some sneaky good plays. Now, what's his ceiling on this roster? Again, I think it could be quite intricate. Is he going to come on as a depth slot guy? Could he provide some special teams value? The answer is yes to both, but this is a congested wide receiver room, and Johnson's going to have to go above and beyond, as he's done throughout his career, to make this happen. But what do you think, guys? Has this video shown you a new side to the veteran wide receiver? Let me know down in the comments. Drop your opinions on today's Film Room Roulette. From myself, Liam Jenkins, you can follow me at Liam Jenkins PSN. I'll see you next time.